New technologies often are encumbered, for better or worse, by laws that were created way before the technologies existed. And so dealing with copyright law, there's all this stuff about mechanical reproduction, which was the physical reproduction of records. And that's codified in the law. Again, I became an expert on this stuff. And trying to translate law that was about physical media to digital media was like totally dumb. I don't know. I can use other more colorful terms, but it was really hard. And the way I think this is relevant to right now is the attempts to regulate AI. In addition, a lot of our startups, our portfolio companies, have experienced tremendous change in the regulatory environment over the past few years. Fortunes are being made and lost based on what kind of laws are being passed and the sophistication ability for founders to navigate these things. Just to throw out a couple of examples here. Anyone here at Kalshi, the company? A few people. So look, they're doing extremely well. Michael funded them from YC. That's his company. You're on the board or something, right? Michael is on the board of that company, and they basically spent years suing the government. Why don't you tell them about?
They only started suing the government recently. I think this is one of the only companies I've ever worked with that is so regulated that they had to have a government strategy pre-product. And they basically had to get licensed before they could do anything. Counterintuitively, funding 2 MIT CS kids right out of college, where the first thing they have to do is get a license from some
the CFTC. So they chose to be regulated by CFTC, right? That was
they chose not to go to jail immediately.
Okay.
The fun part of their story is they tried to get a law firm to represent them in applying for this license, and no law firm would work with them because they were like, you are 2 MIT kids who are not qualified to do anything. And so similar to a lot of companies we funded, I think about the Brex founders, they're like, we're just going to read the law and fill out the paperwork ourselves. And in about 1.5 years, they got their license. And then what was really funny is like the law firms that rejected them said, when your company fails, because it's never going to work still, we'll hire you. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, we're not lawyers. Like, you're fine. Like, we'll just hire you. Like, if you could do this, the legal stuff is not a problem. More recently, during the last election, they're prohibited from listing elections on their prediction marketplace. And so that's when they sued the government.